Time to get right started. I mean, it's been a while, but I had to binge read a couple of stuff. But don't worry, we're on the cultivation type manga, which is surprisingly not too different. It's got the same, the main OP guy, what you guys know. But if you guys don't know what cultivating is, it's kind of like think of it as a bit of a meditation to improve one's power or acquire new skills. They basically sit down, meditate. Sometimes they have to gather herbs or gather, artifacts, books, scrolls, and then meditating a bit will make them like advance higher ranks or level up in some sort of way, basically. And that's how cultivation works. But anyway, enough with all of that. Um, this is gonna be more of a kind of beginner kind of stuff because these manga that have a lot of words, so it's kind of really easy to get into rather than some of the other cultivation you'll see which will have like a crap load of writing, which most of the time is not really necessary. And without further ado, let's get into the first one. So with the first one, you have martial art reigns, and this one is about your MC, which is a rich kind of I wouldn't say rich, but he's basically a top tier in his clan, in his village. He's part of the elder, how would I say, hierarchy sort of thing. But anyway, he's born a prodigy, right? And obviously, other nobles, as usual, are kind of dick as usual, unfortunately. So this prodigy is getting stronger, and they obviously don't want to see him get stronger, so they try their best to push him down. But instead of pushing him down, they just take his fruit. And in these cultivation manga, there's always some sort of think of it as your freaking virginity or whatever, but they remove this and you're basically powerless or crippled in a sense because you can no longer perform cultivation or would have to learn some dark art. So in this case, they just remove his cultivation, which for some manga they'll have to start again, or and for others it's kind of like yeah they have to learn some demon kind of way. But for this, he kind of had to start again, so they just treated him like shit. Obviously, after that, and he stumbles against this old man. And he's like, "Do you want power?" Kind of like the Matrix, the red and blue pill. You want to be OP, or you will still want to live your life in hell. And he obviously takes this, but then this old man was basically another guy that's been hopping from body on body, so he needed a new, stronger body, right? And he chose that guy. But don't know, the can't exactly remember what happened, but anyway, I'm not gonna spoil it. But he reclaims his body, and then is where he starts to get revenge, man. He gets revenge. Obviously, the revenge, it doesn't happen straight away. So that's what makes it good. So you guys would have a lot to enjoy while he slowly eats away his revenge. He also has a waifu, and I'm not gonna say how her personality is like. I'll leave that for you guys to find out. And as things are going on, his family constantly is trying to, you know, kill him at this point because his dad has been murdered and well, was murdered at the start of the story. You'll find out who does it. But yeah, his family is trying to kill him because he's taking his revenge slowly because he's now getting stronger because he's got a little lolly. You'll understand what I'm talking about. So he's getting stronger, right? But he's only taking out the people he can handle gradually. So he's not gonna obviously fight some S class when he's at like C class. So he's taking them out slowly and slowly, right? But then along the way, it's like their family and their connections, like they're making people hate on him, and so he's getting more enemies, right? And these other enemies are just spreading, and he slowly have to take them out, all out, while he's getting stronger than them, and they're all like regretting their decision, like, oh crap, kind of fucked up here. And that's about it, really. He joins this sect, of course, and they kind of treat him well. But apart from that, I would say it doesn't. I don't want to spoil too much. That's the thing. Nah, forget. I'll just move on to the next one. And you got Magic Emperor, and this is where it starts to get not too interesting. The reason why it goes, I would put these higher than martial arts reign is because the art style is lovely, but it's because of the main cast, and that's something you don't really see a cast. You usually just see the MC too much, and I understand people can get bored of that. But Magic Emperor is where you start seeing people, and you start seeing more familiar faces as I go up in this list. So last Magic Emperor gives me like Overlord vibes. If you've seen Overlord, he's kind of like a villain, which you just like he's not a good person. Like at some point you're like, oh dad, he's a dickhead. But since you get to know his personality, you're like, oh damn, he's gonna do it. So as usual, he gets killed in his previous life, which is kind of a theme in this cultivating type mangas. So he gets killed in his previous life. He was like some sort of overlord emperor, if I must say so myself. He gets backstabbed by like a child he rose up, and yeah, it just goes downhill from there. They take him down, right? So then he gets reincarnated, but not into a fresh body. Usually, I mean, he does take over the full body, but the thing that makes this reincarnation unique is that when he gets reincarnated into this body that surprisingly died, that is nowhere close to where he is, right? He has restrictions on this body because he has the memories, not the full memories, the of the person that was once in that body, and he sees like the people that was associated with that said person. And he's just like, I can't be asked. They're getting killed, man. I'll just say, yeah, killed them. That's none of my business. But it's kind of like some thought in his chest. It's just like, no, I want to leave, but it's just like, no, I can't leave. And he's getting annoyed. So at the start, yeah, it was kind of funny seeing that little interaction with his own body, right? But yeah, he eventually helps them and then decides to bring up their sect to become the strongest because they're in the sect, but it's like very weak. It was from what I remember, it's been dethroned from being one of the top sects, and then now it's kind of like, yeah, low tier, right? So he's kind of like, I mean, since I can't watch these people die, I might as well make sure they get stronger, so I don't have to rely on them. And you'll know what I mean when he's kind of a villain because the arts he's cultivating is it's not kind of like your happy go normal fire ice. There's some demonic stuff which makes it interesting and it's quite unique in some of these mangas. So some of these mangas are too positive. I mean, they got some of the themes, but last it just gives the full villainous vibe, which I love. Um, as he progresses, he kind of just shits on everyone really. But shits on people. He's still obviously getting stronger, but base level he's he's stronger than your average level and like probably 2 levels higher. But the thing that makes him different is that he makes money by selling these arrays. And if you don't know, these arrays are kind of like your own Bloom's tower defense sort of thing, which by setting a higher level could you make your defenses able to even stop say so-called probably a top 10. That's how powerful these arrays can be. If not, it can stop any of the strongest people in that world. So let's just say a level 3, I'm pretty sure, was able to stop an elder, like a chief elder, which is pretty high up in that list. So he's able to stop a stop a chief elder with that the array he's then sold off. and this girl like that he's selling it off thinks he has a keen eye, and he's not trying to get ripped off here. He's just like, no, 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 this is worth a lot more. And the way that he just strategically just outplays this, like he uses everything he can to his benefit. He then basically makes them go in debt, right? So then, since they don't have enough money to pay for the raid because the value is just that high. So he asks for guards to protect them for like 10 years, right? And provide accommodation basically, um, as payment pretty much while paying off the for the array. So it's kind of like a rent sort of thing or a little contract. So then he, the other sex are wanted to kill him because he's obviously caused mayhem, right? So then he pretends that he's losing, and then when they come, he just instantly kind of wipes them out, and then the blame falls to the sect that's protecting them, and not on him. And it kind of causes a little outgoing of sorts, and it's just funny seeing because he's pretty much a strategist. I don't want to say strategist, but he's just a smart individual. Like he's just like, man, I've seen this, man. I'm predicting this stuff, man, and you'll see it through his journeys. Where it's like, man, these people dumb, man. I know what they're gonna do, and it's kind of interesting. It's like how does he overcome it? Like when you know your play's next move, oh, how do you overtake it? So there's a little chess game, and then I'm not gonna go too much because it's not too long. I say it's not too long. It's 90 chapters, but plus, but I'll leave it for you viewers to enjoy what's going on there and move on. Yeah, so the Scholar Reincarnation starts off with this guy who is absurdly powerful and is arguably the strongest, but he's more of a melee brawler from what was hinted right at the start, and he doesn't really rely on weapons, so he kind of gets killed as usual, and he gets reincarnated as a baby. Yeah, something you don't see a lot when they get reincarnated. So he gets reincarnated as a baby, and he's like, oh, but he's literally in the same world and everything, and it's just except for the time going back, like it usually does, this time is continuing. And so it continues from where he died off. And he got betrayed by some people as well. I'm not gonna say yes, I'll even hint to that. But he then has to go again as a child. But the benefit for this is like kind of like, yeah, I've got all my knowledge from back then, so he just starts training at like toddler rank, and their family is disgustingly OP than you might think. So, because it was hinted that their family had some OP sort of background ninjas going on, but damn, I've even personally seen them in action from where I'm at yet, but that's that's what makes it interesting because you can realize a lot of things, and the teacher you see at the start, oh my days, it gives you that kind of shank skill darts, whatever anime you want to call it, but it gives kind of that figure where you're like, nah, he has to be endgame, man, he has to be endgame, and that's his teacher, right? And they want him to learn in scholarly arts, which I'm not too sure exactly what that is. I just think I'm gonna slap on literature, English, maths, all that stuff. But he wants to go into martial arts because he was obviously a martial artist. But they're like, yeah, you can do that, but you kind of have to learn the writing and all of that stuff. And he's like, so long. So he has to. I mean, he had to learn his ABC, and that's just flashbacks to childhood. And he's just like, he just fates. It's like, man, I can't look at this book and be like, this summarizing this thing. Like, I have to actually pretend I'm studying this. So he's pretty much a prodigy, and he starts practicing his martial arts and getting stronger. But then at one point they get kidnapped because in the city they're in, the the royalty basically, like pretty much the highest ranking. There's no Unlike other manga, there's no like sex and stuff. It's just kind of village chiefs. I mean, no, there are sex, but it's not like they're all in one place and where there's like a feud between other family members. It's like it's all just one big family and they all love each other. And yeah, him and his sister get kidnapped, right? And at that point, he's still quite young. And surprisingly enough, that's when their family was like, because they sent. I mean, I don't know what these robbers were thinking personally, but they were like, oh yeah, send their father to like, yeah, give us like probably a meal or something. And their father sees this letter, it's like, oh, so they got kidnapped. Okay, okay, that's a meal. Interesting. Just like, okay, send some people to retrieve my children. I'm like, in my head, I was reading, I was like, what did these robbers think was gonna happen? Like, how I see hints of their power, and I'm like, this family means business. Nah, this family, there's no way you thought you could get away with that. Because pretty sure one of the bandits with them was like, nah, 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 nah. We should not do this. And they're like, yeah, 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 man, it's the children. They're obviously going to pay up. Like, they wasn't going to come kill you all anyway. But it's funny. So they're out here silencing the kids. So at first, our MC is he had what's them and he's just trying to get out, right? And then I'm pretty sure they just knock him out and it's like, yeah, 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 just go away. But then I'm pretty sure they hit his sister, and that's when he snapped and he completely KOs one of them. And it's lovely because the art style on this is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. And the next one, I would say has better one, but they're all unique in his own way. But this one, yeah, he just takes out the guy, and then what's it? His family comes in and they're like, "Alright, cool. What happened?" And they just see this big hole, and they're like, to that guy's like, "Wait, did you do that?" It's like, "No, no, it was this kid." And they were like, "Yeah, it must be his son." So that's when you know it's like, "Wait, huh? What's up with this family? Like, yo, like I could have swore they were just merchants. Like, what's going on?" That's when you kind of get a hint at his true power. But the thing that I like about this is that just when you think, I mean, then again, we don't get a glimpse of too much of how he was before, but you would think he would kind of follow what he was doing previously and then get stronger. But he follows it, then he diverts because before he was against weapons, but this blacksmith that wanted to make a weapon for him before he refused. But it came to him again. I was like, nah, I want to try something new. It's what I like because show some kind of character development. Because at first, I'm pretty sure he said weapons are for weak, and the only weapons he needs are his fist, right? But this time he takes the weapon, and it's kind of interesting seeing him with a badass blade, and he's got some demonic Zoro-looking blade that, yeah, looks like he has a mind of his own. So I'm gonna leave that there. And he meets the Skulls Wall. You can put in a little ship there. But that's pretty much the start of it. But yeah, I'd obviously recommend. And now I should move on to Volcanic Age, which arguably has the best art style I've seen out of this list. Arguably, I mean, this list has some of the best art styles I've seen, but Volcanic Age, some stuff just look beautiful when I'm reading it. And yes, MC is a male. I apologize, but there'll be a female one time doing this, and it would be one worth reading. But Volcanic Age is this guy who's been cultivating. So there's been a war, and he's been cultivating from start to finish, right? He completes the war, and for the first time, I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy dies normally. He dies of old age, but he dies in regret because he didn't get to fulfill, like, not that he didn't get to fulfill, like, he's overpowered, but he didn't get to like do silly stuff like have friends by the looks of it. Even though he kind of had friends, but maybe a bigger group, but kind of like have a family, hold the girl's hand, you know, all the little stuff like, yeah, it's just like, dear, looks like he died a virgin, unfortunately. I mean, RIP to him, man, but damn, yeah, he's kind of like, man, if I could go back, I wouldn't neglect all those emotions, right? And his wish is granted. So he goes back to toddler age-ish. I can't remember the age, but it's not young, but it's where his master was, and his master was on the verge of death because his master died at a young age. Before that, but this time he gets to save his master because he knows how to, and he knows the areas. So this is kind of like, when I mean areas, think of it like he's doing some treasure hunt kind of. So he knows when and where like all these dungeons and tombs are, because that's where you kind of get these artifacts to boost your power level, right? All these ancient fruits, right? And he knows exactly when they'll be discovered. So he kind of like, yeah, he messes with the time so bad. So he just goes, gets some hidden fruits, blah blah blah, some hidden tombs. Like I said, he does everything better. So let me basically start at the start. So then there's set, right? And there's a couple of sets, and this one kind of it dives into surprisingly a bit more the world building. Like you kind of you can kind of get a gist where things are. Not too much there, but yeah, you kind of get a sense of some world building. You got some interesting characters that I like because they're not with him per se, but they do pop out a bit frequently. And you're like, when reading this manga, you're like, you know what? I want to see a bit of this manga. Like, or why did he take this character for so? So, like, there's this guy who's skilled in traps, like diffusing traps and all of that. And he's like, yeah, you could have taken this for this dungeon. And even the character says, like, yeah, why did I not take this kid? Man, I was in a rush. Damn shame. And then at the time, there was this girl who was in the set that was a prodigy, and only one of them pretty sure could pass, but like the girl was pretty confident that she would pass, and so was all the set holders. But then this guy just whipped her ass, and they were like, "Ooh, we can't let her go. Nah, I guess we'll take both of them." All right, and obviously the girl's mom, grandma, pretty sure it's grandma. She didn't want to accept. He's like, "Yeah, this guy's the kid's not worthy for you. Like, what are you talking about? You just focus on your training, right?" And he basically becomes the prodigy of the whole sect because he just his growth is definitely something to be reckoned with. So he then kind of, I'm pretty sure that is his main love interest, but I could be personally so off because there's so many. Well, nah, I say so many. There's like three, but they're still all equally interested in him in some sort of way. But he then leaves the sect pretty soon, which I like because you get to see a bit more of the stuff of the world. I mean, by stuff, and yeah, he goes help other things or stop things from occurring, missions and all of that. It's kind of like, nah, it's not scrap that. I was about to say like an early T7, but nah, it's not just there quite. It's missing a few things, but he explores right, and one of the main parts of this are just to keep you interested is that this guy he messes with the main you could say protagonist organization so hard. He screws this so hard. So basically, think about this. He knows that there's spies in certain villages. Yeah, let's say villages. That sounds better. Let's say villages. So he knows there's certain spies in villages, and he identifies them because he knows their passcode. I don't know how he found that out. He knows their passcode, and he's kind of like, "Whew, how do I toy around with them?" So he decides to hop in their meeting that they have because they're discussing plans of how to, steal this, assassinate the other half while they claim this treasure because it's kind of in a tournament setting at the time, and he just goes there and wipes them all out. And what I love is because the main protagonist organization, he does so many things like raiding tombs, right, that they found. And this organization is certain there's like three people you have to freaking find, and he's all three of them. He's literally he goes under different names because he explores a lot, and he's been hooded, like he's known as three titles, which I'm not gonna disclose, of course. I want you guys to find out, but he's known as three titles, and it's funny because this guy is getting so pissed. It's like, if you only knew it was this one guy, things would be a lot different. And that's about at the start really. I'm trying to think of anything, but I don't want to make it too long. No, that's it at the start. Yeah. Now moving on to Tales of Demons and Dragons, and this is, I'm pretty sure, also one of the longest ones out of the couple. Yeah, it should be the longest one, which is good, which is good. And it has the most words. I know. But don't let that hinder you from reading this work of art. This is what, well, apart from Solo Leveling, this was arguably my favorite Cultivation manga. And now I'm holding it in the high regard, but it's because I love the characters so much and I love the IMC. So our MC has been reincarnated, and he's, why did I say reincarnated? I should just say he's just gone back in time, really. Yeah, he's gone back in time now. I'll go with it. So he starts his life all over again, and he does everything better. So there's this school that he goes to at the start because he's a kid. He was like, I can't remember, I was 13, but yeah, there's this teacher, and she's one of the royal's older sister, and he's just like, yeah, I will not learn from you. He's just like, because he sleeps in the lesson because he already knows it. Instead, what he does is he just, acts like a rebellious little kid. It just reminds me of the little stuff you probably do in school. It's just like, yeah, I'm bored to learn. But it is because he already knows it because he flexed on one of the elder meeting where, that moment where there's like, like a head teacher, like an SLT that's at the back of your classroom, and your teacher's trying to flex, but this kid's just trying to sleep. He's just like, yeah, I really don't care. And she's like, oh, though, since you know it, like, answer this question, right? Or, well, find this thing in the book. And he says it right. And they're like, oh, laugh is like, how could you get something simple so wrong? Like, and then obviously there was this girl that was a potential love interest. You'll see her. You're just like, oh, he's so smart. Why does he act dumb? I'm like, ooh, damn. Well, she doesn't say it out loud, but it's kind of like saying that in her head. And she doesn't know. So basically, since the elders are here, like one of them clocked and was like, hang on, because he tells that it was a missing page or something, and he managed to decipher it. So the teacher gets proven wrong, man, basically, and she looks like the biggest mug, and this is just funny, man. I was just like, ooh, that's tight. And because of that, the head teacher is in favor of this kid and gives him like the library to own. And he, I can't remember at what stage of it, but he basically, at this point, he's just like, he makes his own kind of class. So they stand at the back, pretty much facing the wall, because they done something. And obviously, since she's a royal, she likes picking on the commoners. That's kind of, if you know by now, that's the theme of most of these mangas. Unfortunately, I wish there'd be that one lovely noble that just loves commoners, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But then the friends with him and stuff, they also go to the back, and they're like, yeah, we'll ride or die, and those are the bros. Because in the future, he knows that their village will be invaded, and he knows that some people there are snakes, and my snakes, they tried to leave the war completely and run away to save their own lives. And one of them there, yeah, just murdered them basically because it was like yeah, one of the guys in the sect or village was like, nah, this is unacceptable, and kills them off. So he kind of knows who's trustworthy or not. So he kind of picks his team wisely, and yeah, so he trains these people while he's in the library as well as himself, because he knows on top of that, on top of his knowledge, he knows how to make these alchemist kind of potions and herbs. Yeah, so basically he knows alchemy. Well, I say alchemist, but yeah, he knows alchemy. So he makes potions and stuff which can increase cultivation and increases his team's cultivation for a, a high amount. He saves a damsel in distress while he's at it, but with this he makes his friends stronger, then basically goes on adventures with them while also having some fuzzy bear along with him. I'm not gonna get into the details of that, but they get their own sort of companion while they go along. But the thing that makes this one quite interesting and probably has a lot more chapters to come is the power system, which as you get into the later chapters, you'll hear about the power of law. And I myself, I'm not even too sure how they're gonna do this or how they're gonna fuse this, because right now it looks like it's just overpowered. And think of it, I know there's a lot of One Piece references, but think of it as haki, which is armament conquerors and all of that, but there's like freaking 7 different types. And the power of law is what differentiates like a top player from a pro X. Think of it as having runes in League of Legends and masteries to having nothing and just a cool level 30 character, and that's what it is. And with this, he's able to you know be feared by even higher ranks and increases damage output by a shit ton. It's because these power of laws are very unique, and he discovers a lot of things while he's at, and he does what anybody who would be reincarnated does, but yeah, he's just a prodigy. What can I say, man? And like I said, cause I'm kind of biased at this, it's just the main cast, man. You just love the guy's personality in his main cast. That's all I'm gonna really say. Like you love the characters that get introduced and everything. I mean, like sometimes there could be a lot of words, but I would say it's worth the read. I don't think there's any more of that I need to say really, not to spoil it too much. Yeah, that's it. I'll leave that one in the most mystery because it has a lot of ooh moments. But without further ado, off and we'll have a part 2 very soon. Because I'll tell you, I was binge reading a lot, a lot of manga in this past time and scouring a couple ones. But yeah, there's a couple good ones. So it'll probably be more of not as beginner friendly, more of an intermediate version because it does have a lot of wordly ones. Well, man, that's still good nonetheless. But without further ado, let's see you next time.